The government is all set to ensure stronger regulations for ultrasound and imaging equipment. It will now be brought under Drugs and Cosmetics Act. The government will basically regulate import, manufacturing and sales of these equipments. The move is aimed at monitoring quality and avoiding use of these machines for sex selection. Joining us now to discuss this further is our healthcare reporter, Archana Shukla, and along with her is Rajiv Nath, Forum Coordinator at Association of Indian Medical Device Industry. Archana, over to you.
Thanks, Ritika. And thank you, Mr. Nath, for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. First up, this regulation, what is the market size that it would, bring under regulation right now when we are talking overall about medical imaging equipments?
Medical imaging is a very vast field which covers ultrasound, X-ray, CT scan, MRI, endoscopes, linear accelerators. So we estimate the market size to be about over 15,000 crore rupees. In your assessment, what percentage of this market was actually unregulated and unregistered till now that the government is trying to bring under regulation? Well, the market basically, I've got two kinds of imaging. One is based on radiation and one is non-radiation. So the ones under radiation are already being regulated through AERB, the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. And now the government is trying to regulate all of these from the point of view of not only radiation, but from the point of view of patient safety under the Drug and Cosmetics Act.
Right.
That's what's been passed. And the whole industry, from the point of view of the patient safety, is completely unregulated as on today's date.
Right. The prime
100%.
reason behind this regulation is to avoid use of ultrasounds and CT scanner machines for sex selection. And we are a sex-skewed nation, so to say. But how effective do you think these regulations would be in the current scenario?
Well, the Drugs and Cosmetics Act is designed from the point of view of seeing that patients are not harmed. So it's mainly patient safety that's a purview. In terms of placement, sales, access, there would be challenges which the government would have to definitely address, for which the current system is not really designed for.
A lot of ultrasound machines are now mobile, are very mobile, are very small in size. Would this, I'm just trying to understand, would this regulation be really helpful? It's a good move certainly by the government, but will it really be helpful in curtailing the use of these equipments for said purposes of sex selection and others?
Well, of course, when you've got a social cause like that, something has to be done to address that. And this is one way forward trying to achieve that. It may not be the best way, but something better than nothing, I guess.
Okay.
So, and still the government, of course, has to address the issue of the parallel imports which come in of pre-owned equipment, which is also coming in substantially. Nearly 30% of the value of the goods coming in currently are pre-owned, second-hand goods coming in. So regulations will definitely help to curb that, restrict that, and once there is a control over the warehousing, the sales, the resales, the servicing, I guess some kind of that objective will be achieved. May not be 100%, but maybe in the right direction. But a bigger concern for us is not only this issue of the social cause, for which it is being pursued, but we've been demanding from the industry that we do need regulations, but of the right kind.
In that sense,
AERB regulations are very much skewed from the point of view of imports. You've got, sorry, please go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yes, so the current AERB regulations give import clearances for imports in about a month's time, whereas an Indian manufacturer has to take nearly about a year's time to get himself currently registered through an AERB regulatory process. And the DNC Act has now, of course, the medical device rules which can be used to regulate. But these are still very new in infancy, and the process and the systems are still being unfolded. And maybe the Medical Device Act would be the better position for doing all this. But since that is not even a bill that has been tabled to the Parliament, we have been recommending to the government to cover such medical electronics and devices under the BIS rules, whereby the quality management systems of these companies could be certified by accredited certification bodies.
Okay,
and the accreditation is given by NABCB.
All right. Just as a last question, sir, we still are a little way away from the Medical Devices Act, so to say, and you're saying the Drugs and Cosmetics Act is not really the best model, but even here, item by item, the government is increasing regulation. What are the other segments of medical devices that you feel would be coming under regulation right now going forward?
Well, in medical electronics alone, we've given a list of about 32 items for the government to consider. You've got the high-risk items like pacemakers, ultrasound machines is only one part of it, but you've got heart-lung machines, infusion pumps, you've got consumer goods, whether it is a glucometer or a thermometer, none of this is regulated. So it's a large basket. And nearly 90% of the goods which are coming to the country are coming into an environment which is totally unregulated, and that's very much scary because you have no calibration for such medical electronic goods coming into the country.
All right.
Mr. Nath, a very one-line answer from you, sir. Would the any concerns with respect to the implementation? Would it be cumbersome once it goes ahead? Very tight on time, so one-line answer.
Yes. It will be cumbersome the way it's currently going on.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for taking us through that. And thank you, Archana, for taking us through that exclusive conversation.